South East Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.
South East Radio.
Well, online customer reviews can often be treated with trepidation by business owners. Whilst the benefit of positive reviews can be quantified, many businesses are fearful of the damage which can be caused by negative online customer reviews. My first guest, Deane from Baboost, is calling for businesses to be proactive in maximising the benefits which positive online reviews can deliver. Chris, before we discuss Baboost, I'd like to get an insight into your own background.
Hi Karl, thanks for having me. So I graduated from the IT industry in 2017 with a marketing degree. I then worked in marketing for a few months before going off to New Zealand, where I worked for a tech company called ProMap. I got really good experience in ProMap. They took care of me there. I learned from the best, and then I got transferred over to the Melbourne office. So I got experience in both New Zealand and Australia working in a tech company, where then I came back into a pandemic and started working on my startup.
So where did the idea for Baboost come from?
So the idea of Baboost came from actually a previous idea. We had this referral marketing solution, which we had pilot customers on board, but we were trying to really drive the engagement with customers, referring their mates, their friends, their family. And off the back of that, we wanted to listen to these pilot customers and see what the value was like. It went well, went really good, but we found that customer reviews, people giving their experience, telling their stories really held more weight. So we started to move into that pivot phase where we wanted to build out Baboost. And
I believe that the pivot phase took place during a New Frontiers programme.
Yeah. So it was New Frontiers in TUD Dublin. So it's a 6-month entrepreneurial program, which during the program is a combination of things. So they want you to validate your idea, make sure there's a market there. They support you with anything that you really need from a business perspective. And then kind of a bit more tangible, there is a stipend involved. So there is 15,000 over the 6-month period, which is given to each business, which is great support when you're exploring a new business. You need those extra bit of support to really get it off the ground. But I suppose the big benefit of New Frontiers is that there's 11 other people in your cohort going through the exact same experience. We're all starting out, little things like going for a coffee, going for a drink. That community around it is really where, I got that extra bit of benefit. It felt like having work staff. So it was great.
So talk to us about the service offering of Baboost and the problem that you're actually solving.
Yeah, no problem. So it's a cloud-based product. So it's plug and pay, get set up in minutes. It's as easy as setting up and navigating a Facebook account or an Instagram profile. And we found that, some companies don't ask for reviews, or they ask too early, don't ask at the right time. So what we want to do is get that flow right. So when a business signs up with Baboost, they integrate with their preferred review sites or many review sites, depending on what they use. So Trustpilot, TripAdvisor, Google Reviews, G2, Capterra. And the whole idea is to bring all these review sites in to the Baboost platform in one place where they can manage, react and distribute requests to get their customers to leave their experience and to hopefully leave a review off the back of that.
I just want to talk to you about the likes of Trustpilot or Glassdoor or any of those. When they contact a business and look to get them signed up, many businesses shy away from that. What would you say to that?
I think the biggest thing is it's about managing your brand reputation. Giving and sending out requests at the right time is key. So you can kind of put it in your own hands and control what's coming in. But the biggest thing is if, the odd time those bad experiences may happen, or there can even be an accident. I actually had my dad's business, a small business in Dublin. He had 20 reviews and he was at 3.9 stars. And I was like, what's going on here? There must be a bad one here. And it was my dad actually gave himself a 1-star review. So by an accident, but he managed to get it resolved. But we find with businesses, that odd experience goes through the cracks that's not so positive. It's about how they react, because that will influence future reviews that go through. If they see this kind of, keyboard warrior trolling trend where, companies are replying back and it turns into a nasty public battle, it's about trying to take that, offline and, how you react to a bad review will kind of influence that future review that you're going to get.
And I think fundamentally the problem with online reviews is businesses don't see it as something they should or could manage.
Yeah, no, exactly. And, through the Baboost platform, we notify businesses to reply. We prompt when new ones come in. And the benefits of it is just so important. Before you make any bit of a meaningful purchase, if you're going to a hotel, a restaurant, you're buying something online, trying out new technology, the biggest thing that you look at is reviews before you buy or purchase any kind of product. So it's about that kind of existence of you online, your brand visibility outside of just your website.
And you are a firm believer that businesses should be encouraging their customers to actually post reviews. And the key to that success really is about getting the ask in at the right time, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, it's about ask at the right time. We have companies that are using our solution in different ways. Some have a QR code, for example, of how your experience was that they may, they're put on a business card or some marketing material. But it's about asking that after an experience or after a trip or, when someone's checking out of a hotel, for example, if you have a good feeling about it, why not hand them that card and get them to leave their experience? So it's about timing as much as it is responding and managing all your reviews.
Are there any particular brands out there that you really admire in relation to how they handle and respond to reviews?
In terms of business that we're working with, so we actually have a client called Chimax. It's a restaurant in Dublin, and they're so proactive with the reviews that are coming in. And they're a great client for us, a great use case. We actually have a case study on our website with them, but they're so good at engaging with their clients and, just that publicness that's going out there, they're able to manage that whole space quite well. So they're the type of businesses we want to work with to build out these help desk guides to really kind of grow and let them manage it in the right way.
And ultimately, it's a great opportunity for businesses to be able to show off their own brand personality, isn't it, by going on and engaging with both positive and negative reviews? Yeah,
for sure. There's that social proof is there. So it's about how you react to it. It's about how you respond to it. And if you're responding in the right way, there's good integrity for the business and people will see that. And, as I said earlier, it does influence those future reviews. And another part of the Boost, which it's quite nice, is that we have a little widget which you can embed on your website. So it basically just pulls in your good, the positive experiences that your customers have had with you, and you can use that as social proof. It's nearly like a testimonial section on a website, but they're real. They're not, they're pulled in real time. We pull in your last 20, and it's a good way to really show off what your customers are saying.
What review sites have you integrated Baboost with to date?
So our core integration at the moment is Trustpilot and Google Reviews. Now we do support, all review sites, but the core integration that we're kind of pushing at the moment is that Google and Trustpilot, where we find they're the most common for the business that we have at the moment, particularly in hospitality, and it's where we see good growth in that sector.
And who is the target customer for Baboost currently? Are there any particular sectors or industries that you're focused on?
So we are multi-industry, so there's not a specific industry that we target, but, there is a focus in hospitality. We have real estate, taxis, it does really vary, but I suppose the biggest thing is we have two types of customers even within those industries. It's ones that are very kind of proactive. They want to get in there, they want to respond, they want to request like mad, and they really care about customer reviews. And then there's the other side of it where they do really, really care about customer reviews, but they may not have the time, the resources to really invest in this request kind of way. So we have what we call the Baboost autopilot feature, which can automate this process and send out, triggered notifications, emails and stuff like that to customers at the right time. So they're the two segments that we have within those industries.
And from your insights into this market, Chris, what is the best way for a business to respond to a negative review?
So responding to a negative review, it can be quite damaging, negative reviews that come in, but, how you respond can be even more damaging. So it's about just trying to get that right. And, we want customers to respond, or businesses to respond to their customers in such a way that you're representing your business at the end of the day. And the politeness and trying to resolve any customer issues goes a long way.
And do you find that those businesses that use templated responses, it's really as bad as not responding at all?
Yeah, no, exactly. When you have those templates and you're sending them out, they feel very generic. What we want to, encourage is that personalization. When we have these help desk guides coming in, stuff like that, they are tips at the end of the day, and like general practice and real life examples is what we want to showcase to them. But the way that you should really be responding, they're just influencing the way you should personalize your message in responding to your customers, and to take away that templated version and to really, personalize that whole thing, that extra bit of customer service.
And what are your thoughts on a business responding by inviting that person that has made that negative comment to contact the business offline with a view to having it resolved?
I think that's great. It kind of takes that kind of public, troll trend offline. And, we had a business there the other day that I was chatting to, and they said, 75% of any bad reviews that are coming in at the moment are solvable, And so it's about, the best way to resolve that is generally offline, get it away from the public, bring them in, do whatever incentive, anything that you want to do to try resolve it. But, once it's resolved, you never know what could happen off the back of that. It could result in a referral or even a positive review. So I think it's a good way to kind of handle those reviews.
And what are your plans for growing this business over the next 3 years?
So over the next years, we do have a product roadmap in place, but I think the biggest thing that we want to do is actually work with the businesses that we have at the moment and really make sure that they contribute heavily to the product roadmap. We just don't want to, assume they want this without really testing that. And then as we kind of release new features and things like that, we want them to be the first ones to test it, make them really feel a part of it, and build a Baboost community around reviews.
Great. And Chris, finally, what are your top 3 tips in terms of how to manage online reviews?
I would say ask for reviews at the right time, personalise your responses, and show off your reviews with social proof.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was Chris Deane from Baboost. And online customer reviews is certainly an area where there's plenty of opportunity for businesses to positively build their brand and to secure new and valuable business.
Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.
South